Hey everybody, in today's video, I'm going to compare Ronnie Coleman's 2002 Mr. Olympia version against Gunter Schlierkamp's 2002 Mr. Olympia version. Although Gunter Schlierkamp placed 5th at the 2002 Mr. Olympia, many people believe that he should have beaten Ronnie Coleman, and 3 weeks after the Mr. Olympia event, Gunter Schlierkamp actually defeated Ronnie Coleman at the 2002 Show of Strength. So that means I'm going to compare Ronnie's version against Gunter's version to see if Ronnie rightfully deserved to beat Gunter at the 2002 Mr. Olympia event. The front double bicep shot is normally a lights out game over shot for Ronnie Coleman. However, in this shot here, it is pretty evident that he's not outright destroying Gunter. If we look at the arms of Ronnie Coleman, I do prefer the separation between the biceps and triceps, and overall the vascularity and graininess for Ronnie Coleman is superior. But Gunter has those huge arms and freaky bicep peaks. I mean, look at the difference in the bicep development between Ronnie Coleman and Gunter. Gunter's biceps seem to be twice as big. Now, if we look at the midsections, I will tell you that I prefer Ronnie Coleman's midsection. It looks a bit more streamlined, and that's probably because he was weighing at an all time low here. Moving to the downstairs region, I would probably have to give the quads to Gunter because his quads are just as big, if not bigger, than Ronnie's, and he is a big man after all. But look how diced and separated they are. You know, Ronnie Coleman normally has these quads that are very impressive and have a crazy wow factor, but here they do not seem to be overpowering Gunter in any manner. So in this front double bicep shot, I would probably have to give it to Ronnie just because I like his overall flow, but it is not a easy win for Ronnie by any means. A very close shot, and I could definitely see an argument for Gunter winning here. So unfortunately, I do not have a proper front lat spread for Gunter as he is tilting away from the camera. So it would be unfair of me to award this point to either man because of this, disparity in the posing. Now, I will tell you that Ronnie Coleman doesn't look all too bad, but he really isn't as impressive as he normally would look. I mean, you look at a 2003 lat spread, and he just has that wow factor. But here, he looks rather unimpressive. Now, I can't really judge Gunter on anything except for the conditioning, and here he looks very good, very comparable, if not better, to Ronnie Coleman from the front. The midsection on Gunter looks great. The chest, you can see the striations everywhere, and the arms look huge. The quads look amazing as well, but like I said, it would be unfair of me to award a point here. So unfortunately, once again, I have a bad picture, and this time it's for Ronnie Coleman in the side chest pose. The lighting and, the overall quality of the picture wasn't the best, and I'm sorry that I couldn't provide a better picture. In this shot, though, we can tell that Ronnie Coleman has an insane amount of muscle from the side. Look at the leg and the separation between the quad and the hamstring. Pretty evident there. The arm looks huge and the shoulders look ripped and the chest is conditioned and ripped as well. And the midsection on Ronnie Coleman, while, kind of wide, looks relatively good here. Now, Gunter looks pretty good as well. He has a huge chest. Look at the bicep. It's so freaky, guys. It's a really freaky bicep, and the shoulder is striated to a T. Looking at Gunter's lower body, you can clearly see that he is in great condition as well. You can see the glute striations peeking from the side. You can see the quad and hamstring tie-ins very well. And overall, Gunter presents a very good side chest pose. However, I don't think he's filling out the pose as well as Ronnie Coleman is. Ronnie Coleman looks very thick from the side. Gunter looks thick as well, but not as much. And I will tell you that I prefer Ronnie Coleman's presentation. So therefore, I'm going to give Ronnie Coleman the point. The side tricep pose is a interesting pose for Ronnie Coleman because he was never known for hitting a good side tricep. However, his leaner version here really doesn't look that bad. You guys can see the striations peeking through of the tricep. His chest looks really big. His midsection looks tight. Look at the separation in the legs once again. Very, very impressive. However, Gunter's legs just appear to be larger from the side and have pretty good separation as well. The midsection on Gunter looks flawless, and I love the display on Gunter as well. Now, the tricep that Gunter has may not be the best. However, it is definitely outmassing Ronnie Coleman's. The chest on Gunter looks amazing as well, and those shoulders are really nice. Gunter definitely wins the side tricep pose. I mean, it is very easy to beat Ronnie Coleman, in my opinion, if you have a good display and if you have a decent tricep. And Gunter has a amazing display and a pretty decent tricep, so therefore he takes the point here. The back development and conditioning is definitely what propelled Ronnie Coleman to the first place spot, in my opinion. If you take a look at the back itself, he definitely isn't as wide or as dense as he would be in 2003, for example. However, he is very ripped and conditioned. The lower body, mainly the hamstrings, look crazy, and the glutes are on another level. taking a look at Gunter, his hamstrings look very good, but his glutes do not match up whatsoever. They aren't as diced as Ronnie Coleman's. The back on Gunter is wide, probably wider than Ronnie Coleman's. However, it doesn't appear to be as, symmetrical in my opinion, nor as pleasing to the eye, but it is very dense. And look at those upper traps on Gunter. Very impressive. Very, very impressive. The calves, honestly, for Ronnie Coleman, they look great, and Gunter's look great as well. The arms from behind look fantastic for Ronnie Coleman. So Ronnie Coleman's winning this rear lat spread, in my opinion. But Gunter is putting up a pretty decent fight. The rear double bicep shot may be a different story from the previous back shot, though, as we can see that Gunter has a relatively conditioned and thick back. The arms are definitely better for Gunter from behind. Look at how big they look, and Ronnie Coleman's arms look small in comparison. Now, the density is there for Ronnie Coleman. Even though he is downsized, he still has a denser and thicker back than Gunter. However, Gunter's back appears to be wider. Look at the hamstrings on Gunter now. They look really good, and the glutes don't look as bad as before. Ronnie Coleman is not flexing his hamstrings as hard as before either, so his lower body appears to be a little bit less impressive. However, look at the sweep on that quad there. It's pretty impressive from behind. Now, I will tell you, like I said, it is a hard pose to judge for me. I mean, on one hand, you have the wider back for Gunter, whereas on Ronnie Coleman, you have the denser back. This could go either way, in my opinion, and Ronnie Coleman definitely wouldn't be winning this shot outright. And personally, I might have to give this pose to Gunter. Even though his glutes aren't as ripped as Ronnie's, his back is very impressive to me, and his arms are dwarfing Ronnie's almost. So I'm going to give Gunter the point here. The abs and thigh shot is not an impressive shot for either one of these gentlemen. However, Ronnie Coleman's more, downsized, leaner version has a better midsection, in my opinion, than his other versions, and he looks relatively okay here. His quads look pretty good, his lats flare out decently, and he looks okay. That's all I can say. Now, Gunter Schlierkamp, in my opinion, I do not like his presentation in the abs and thigh shot. I don't like how his obliques kind of spill over a bit, and I'm not impressed with the actual abdominal development. The lats flare out pretty well, and honestly might flare out better than Ronnie Coleman's, but the way that Gunter holds his pose makes him look a bit narrow. In comparison, Ronnie Coleman looks wide, and I do not like Gunter's display in the, quad area. Now, this may be controversial. I know some people definitely would give Gunter the shot here. However, I'm going to give Ronnie Coleman the point because I prefer Ronnie Coleman's presentation, and I just don't like the way Gunter is holding this pose in terms of an aesthetic manner. So I'm just going to use this most muscular shot here, which is of them standing side by side. And wow, you guys can really see how big Gunter really was. Now, just remember, Ronnie Coleman, of course, is looking down here. He's only just a few inches shorter than Gunter. However, look at how big Gunter was, and look at how downsized Ronnie was. I mean, look at the quads on Gunter. Amazing. They look amazing here. If only he was displaying them like this in the abs and thigh. And his midsection looks so good. If only he could display it a bit better in that abs and thigh shot, he definitely would have won. Ronnie Coleman doesn't look, bad to say, but he does not look as impressive as he would normally. His arms don't have that sting. The chest isn't as striated as it normally is. The midsection looks actually pretty good, and the quads aren't, they don't have the pop. He just doesn't have this pop that he normally would. Ronnie Coleman, he just looks unimpressive to say for Ronnie Coleman, guys. Just remember that. I'm not saying, he's very impressive, but just standing next to Gunter just looks way better. And it's crazy to say, but in this, hands on hip most muscular, I would give it to Gunter because look at those freaky biceps. Look at how big he is, the structure, the striations everywhere. The quads are immaculate. The midsection looks great in this shot. So Gunter would win this most muscular shot, in my opinion. Just to recap, because this comparison has now finished, I had Ronnie Coleman winning the front double bicep, the side chest, the rear lat spread, and the abs and thigh shots, while I had Gunter winning the side tricep, the rear double bicep, and the most muscular shots. The rear lat spread was inconclusive because of the picture angle I had for Gunter. However, you guys could make up your mind about that, who you guys think would win, and therefore, if you had Gunter winning, it would be 4-4, and if you had Ronnie winning, it would be 5-3. This little comparison kind of shows that maybe Gunter was supposed to place a little bit higher. Even though I didn't compare him to anyone between the fourth and second place spots, there is potential that he could have definitely placed higher if he was maybe given better comparisons, politics, whatever, who knows. But he definitely was a lot closer to beating Ronnie Coleman than the placing suggests. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. It always means a lot to me, and I hope I see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.